a small village, nestled at the foot of the rolling hills of the Cotswolds. It was here, amidst the clear stream and the whisper of the wind, that Adam and Evelyn began their new life together. Adam was tall and strong, a timber merchant who roamed the forests in search of the finest wood. No matter how busy he was, his family was his world. Evelyn was a woman with a gentle smile and a loving heart. For her, every day with Adam was a celebration. But their happiness was incomplete. After many years, they had no child. Evelyn's eyes would often well up with tears. Adam would comfort her. "We will have a child, Evelyn. God only gives us good things." This long wait brought them even closer. After many prayers and treatments, the good news finally came. Evelyn was pregnant. Their joy knew no bounds. The doctor told Evelyn that she would have 3 children. The news surprised them. 3 sons in one birth. Adam was overjoyed. A sea of love swelled in Evelyn's heart. They decided on 3 names: Aiden, Ethan, and Noah. The day arrived. Evelyn smiled through her pain. Adam held her hand tightly. They returned home from the hospital with their 3 sons. The small house had become a paradise. Aiden's little smile, Ethan's innocent gaze, and Noah's soft cry. All of these were the sweet music of their lives. Adam reduced his work and began spending more time with his sons at home. He made toys for them and laughed at their babbling. For Evelyn, they were her world. She would feed them, put them to sleep, and bathe them, forgetting herself entirely. In the evenings, Adam would play with his sons on his shoulders in the courtyard. Evelyn would watch and smile from the kitchen. Their dreams and desires were fully realized in that smile. For everyone in their village, these 3 children were a miracle. They called them a blessing from God. At night, Adam would rock them in their cradle and sing lullabies to put them to sleep. Every corner of their small house was filled with their laughter and play. Adam looked at his children with affection and kissed Evelyn's forehead. "How blessed we are, Evelyn," he said. Evelyn smiled, her eyes brimming with tears of joy. She held her children close, understanding how big her world truly was. She believed that this world of love would always remain. A heavy rain fell in the quiet of the night. The cold wind from the Cotswolds hills crept through the windows. Adam and Evelyn sat together in the bedroom, covered by a blanket. In the next room, their 3 sons were in a world of dreams. Aiden's soft snore, Ethan's calm breathing, and the gentle sound of Noah's tiny legs hitting the side of the cradle. All these sounds were like a lullaby to them. Suddenly, a terrifying wail of a cat shattered the silence. It echoed through the house like a scream. Evelyn startled awake. She looked at Adam's face with fear. He was asleep. She thought the cat's wail was coming from the children's room. Her heart sank with a chilling fear. She quietly got up without trying to wake Adam. Opening the door, she walked slowly to the children's room. The cold of the rain and the tremor of fear seeped into her body. When she opened the door, she froze at the sight. In the dim light of the room, all 3 cradles were empty. For a moment she wondered if she was dreaming. She shut her eyes tight and opened them again. But the scene didn't change. The cradles were empty. Where are my children? Where did they go in this cold? A fire flared up inside her heart, a painful inferno. She knelt by the cradles. Next to Aiden's cradle, his tiny shoes lay. The sight was unbearable for her. A horrifying scream erupted from her throat. It was the pain of a broken-hearted mother. "Adam, my children are gone," she shrieked. Hearing her scream, Adam woke with a start. It felt as if a heavy burden had fallen on his chest. He rushed to the children's room. Evelyn was sobbing, looking at the cradles. Adam saw the empty cradles. He couldn't believe it. He searched frantically all over the room, under the bed, and behind the table. He couldn't find them anywhere. Outside, the sound of the rain was growing louder. His fear ran through his body like a cold river. "Evelyn, what happened? Where did our children go?" His voice trembled. It was an unbelievable tragedy for anyone. In the middle of the night, without a single trace, their 3 children had disappeared. The only question left in their minds was, what now? The horror of the night did not give way to dawn. Adam and Evelyn cried until they were exhausted. The village woke up to their cries. People rushed over. No one could believe the scene. The house, once full of joy, was now covered by the dark shadow of sorrow. Adam and Evelyn described the incident. No one had any information about how the children disappeared. They informed the nearest police station. The police officers immediately rushed to the spot. They could not solve the case, but they registered it and started a serious investigation. They also brought in police dogs. The dogs sniffed inside the children's room and then ran out of the house. They followed the scent through the rain-soaked mud to the riverbank. But since it had rained heavily that night, no traces were left. With no CCTV cameras or phone calls, the police could not do much. Adam and Evelyn went to the police station every day, hoping to hear some news. But each time they returned disappointed. The investigation stalled. As time passed, the police officers' hope also dwindled. Finally, the case files were closed. With all avenues to find the children exhausted, Adam and Evelyn were despondent. But Evelyn's heart refused to accept it. She believed her children were still alive. Every day she would look at their pictures, talk to them, and pray for their return. Adam's situation was no different, but he had to carry on with life. He started his long-distance travels for business again, trying to forget his grief in the busyness of work. Meanwhile, Evelyn slowly began to drift away from Adam. His cold demeanor saddened her. She felt that he could not understand her pain. Or was he trying to hide his own pain? She couldn't find an answer. Yet Evelyn did not give up hope. She lived each day in the hope that one day her children would return. But no one believed such a day would come. Time passed like a wave in the ocean. But Adam and Evelyn's lives remained stagnant on the shore. The joy and laughter in their house faded. The darkness of sorrow covered the house. Evelyn's heart grew heavier each day. Her eyes were always glued to the window, longing to see a glimpse of her children. Adam tried to hide his grief in the busyness of his work. He started traveling long distances every day, often returning late at night. Evelyn noticed it. She felt that he was not interested in sharing her pain. "Why don't you talk to me, Adam?" she once asked. "We don't know what happened to our children. Are you distancing yourself from me?" Adam looked back at her. "It's nothing, Evelyn. I need more work to forget my pain." That's all he could say. Their conversations dwindled. It felt as if a large wall had been built between them. Evelyn's mind was filled with many questions. Why was Adam pulling away like this? Did he not love her anymore? Or was he involved in this tragedy? Unknowingly, she harbored these suspicions in her heart. Years passed. 20 years. The villagers had started to forget the tragedy. Adam was still a timber merchant. Only Evelyn's hope had not faded. She looked at her children's photos every day. It had become a belief. She was sure that her children would return. One evening, Adam returned home from business. A stranger stood in the courtyard, a tall man dressed in black. He asked Adam, "Your children did not disappear by chance one night. It was a planned act." Adam was shocked. He looked at the stranger with fear. "Who are you? How do you know this?" "If you want to know, you must trust me, just once." He smiled. Adam thought about the pain he had endured for the past 20 years. If he could find a reason. A glimmer of hope lit up in his heart. He looked at the stranger with suspicion, but the truth in his eyes astonished Adam. The stranger walked into the house. Evelyn was inside. He looked at her. "Your children are alive, Evelyn," he said. Those words pierced Evelyn's heart like a ray of light. "Who are you?" she asked, trembling. "I am your son. My name is Aiden." The rainy night in the dark is still a horrible dream in Adam and Evelyn's memories. Laughter and happiness had vanished from their lives. Sorrow and loneliness had turned their lives upside down. Days, months, years, 20 years had passed. One evening, the mysterious guest they had been waiting for arrives at their house. His words were a sign of a new twist. "Your children are alive, Evelyn." Those words passed through her heart like lightning. She looked at him with a trembling voice. For the first time in 20 years, the hope she had held in her heart had an answer. "Who are you?" she asked, frightened. "I am your son. My name is Aiden." Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. For a moment she wondered if she was dreaming. She couldn't believe it. Adam was also stunned. He looked at Aiden with a questioning gaze. "You're lying. My son doesn't look like you," Adam said angrily. "I have something to prove it to you. There is a small black mole on my neck," Aiden said. Adam remembered. His eldest son Aiden had a mole on his neck. His ex-wife had unknowingly removed it with a medicine when he was very young. It was a secret no one knew. But how did this stranger know this? For a moment Adam felt like trusting Aiden. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. She hugged him and cried. Adam was astonished to see this. Aiden hugged them. "I am your son. You should know what happened to all three of us," he said. Aiden began to tell his story. One night a woman abducted them. She took them in a big car. After dropping them off at an orphanage, she changed their names. He revealed that Adam's ex-wife had done this cruel act and that it was not an accident. He did not remember exactly what happened to him and his brothers. But a few clues given to him by a person who came to save them prompted him to start this investigation. That's how he came to find them. Adam was shocked to hear that his ex-wife had done this cruel act. He had many questions in his mind. He understood that the woman was the reason for all the pain he had endured for years and the separation from his wife. He was furious with her. Evelyn, hearing Aiden's words, cried and said, "My children, where were you? Where are your brothers?" she asked. "I know, Mom. I know where they are. I will help you bring them back," Aiden said. A glimmer of hope ignited in Evelyn's heart. It was the moment she had been waiting for 20 years. Her children were alive. She had got her son back. Now she had to find the other two children as well. What Aiden said deeply shook Adam and Evelyn. Especially Adam. He couldn't control his anger when he heard that his ex-wife was behind the tragedy he had endured for years. How could she do this? Adam asked himself. He realized that she was the reason for all the tragedies that had happened in his life over the past 20 years. The glimmer of hope in Evelyn's heart gave her new strength. "We should go to the police station, Adam," she said. "Our children are alive." Adam nodded. He could now trust Aiden. The three of them went to the nearby police station. The policeman there took out the old case files. Adam gave him information about his ex-wife. During the previous investigation, the police had not received any information about Adam's ex-wife. They had not investigated in that direction because Adam had already separated from his ex-wife and had no contact with her afterward. The police started the investigation again. They now had a lead. They found out that Adam's ex-wife was living in a city. They went there and arrested her. A cool breeze of relief swept through Evelyn's heart. It was the moment she had been waiting for 20 years. But she also had a fear. What would happen now in her children's case? The news of Adam's ex-wife's arrest shocked both Evelyn and Adam equally. After years of suffering, the truth was revealed to them. She was interrogated at the police station. At first she denied everything, but later she confessed that she had committed this cruel act for revenge because her husband had mentally tortured her for not having children. "He left me only because I didn't have children. I wanted to hurt him. His children were most precious to him. I was able to steal them. I planned it," she said. The police asked her where she took the children. She said, "I took them to an orphanage. I bribed the staff there with a large amount of money. They changed the children's names and other information. That way, no one would suspect me." Adam stood stunned, hearing this information. He couldn't control his anger. "Why did you do this to me?" Adam asked. "Why did you use my children to hurt me?" He didn't get an answer. Evelyn had many questions. "What happened to my children? Where are they?" she asked the ex-wife. "I didn't take your children. I took my own son. I placed him in that orphanage under a different name," she cried. "Adam, I have a secret. A truth you don't know. I had a son. I had him without your knowledge," she said. "I placed him in that orphanage under a different name. I hid a big secret from you," she cried. "What did you do to my children?" Evelyn asked. "I did nothing to your children. I took one child with me to mislead the police." "I don't know what happened to that child," she said. The police got a new piece of information. Adam's ex-wife had no part in this tragedy. She had done this to mislead the police. The confession of Adam's ex-wife completely confused the police. She had confessed to the crime and then changed her statement, so the case came back to square one. Nevertheless, some things she said were a sign of a new twist for the police. The truth that the third child was someone else, and she took that child with them to mislead the police, made the police think deeply. The police investigation took a new direction. They went to the orphanage, where the ex-wife had confessed to leaving the children. The police examined the 20-year-old documents preserved there. When they inquired about the bribe, it was found that an old employee of the orphanage was involved. The police found documents proving that he had received a large sum of money. He was no longer alive. However, from his diary notes, the police understood a big truth. He had written in his diary, "I only received 2 children, Adam and Evelyn's children. However, a woman approached me and entrusted me with a child. She said the child's name was Simon. The child had a small black mole on his hand." This information shocked the police. He had also written another thing in the diary. It did not happen by chance. It was a planned act. That woman wanted children of her own. She did it because she had no children with another man. This information in the diary was a major turning point for the police. From this, the police understood that the third child was not Adam and Evelyn's son. Based on the information about Aiden and his brother, the police continued the investigation. The mystery of the third child led the police to another path. The new information received by the police shocked them. They understood that the third child was not Adam and Evelyn's son. Based on the information about Aiden and his brother, the police continued the investigation. Based on the information received from the orphanage, where the children were left, the police found the 2 children. They were now 20 years old. Samuel and Solomon were living a new life with new names. They did not know that their lives belonged to someone else. The police explained everything that had happened to them. They had no memory of their real parents. However, in a corner of their minds, there was a vague memory of their parents. Adam and Evelyn cried when they heard this news. They couldn't believe their children were alive. It was the moment they had been waiting for 20 years. The police took them to the orphanage. When they entered, they saw their children. Samuel and Solomon could not suddenly recognize their parents. But Evelyn ran to them and hugged them. "My children," she cried. Evelyn's touch astonished them. For a moment, a lightning bolt passed through their minds. They got some memories back. They hugged their mother. Adam stood next to them. He did not know what to say. He felt guilty. Evelyn had a mixed feeling of joy and sorrow. Joy in getting her children back, and sorrow for the memory of her third child. Even though Samuel and Solomon returned as the dawn of hope for Adam and Evelyn's lives, the memory of their third son, Simon, remained a pain for them. There were feelings of both joy and sorrow in that house. For those who started a new life, one question remained: what happened to Simon? That question was an unsolved mystery for them. After investigations by the police and others, it was found that the child abducted under the name Simon had no connection to Adam and Evelyn's son. Since only Simon was written in the diary, they could not continue the investigation. Many years later, Adam and Evelyn's sorrows had lessened to some extent. They started talking about Samuel and Solomon's new lives. But the memory of Simon was always a concern for them. The name Simon became a silent presence in that house. Sometimes a phone call would come, or a letter. Sometimes there would be a picture in that letter. It would be a face of a small child. When they saw that picture, their memories of Simon would return. The name Simon had become a memory in their hearts. The name Simon gave them a new hope. Simon was living a new life. Unbeknownst to him, he had started a journey to find his parents. In a corner of his mind, some memories of his parents were left. Every day they got new hope. They believed that Simon would come to find them one day. There was no end to their hopes. Simon might come to find them, or he might not.